right-hand corner, you will see My Subscription button, where you can manage your subscription details, such as update your subscription from monthly to annual. You can also upgrade or downgrade your current subscription. You can also add a user to your subscription. You can generate a PDF from your previous billings. You can also customize the appearance. You can choose one of the available colors. You can change the navigation style from vertical to horizontal. You can also change the layout and the view mode. You've got a notification button for any notification coming through the system, and a couple of other options that will be beneficial moving forward. On the opposite side, you will see your active integration with your Xero account. When you toggle the Xero button, you will see the information that is available to be synchronized from there to Xero. But since we have not created any transaction, there is nothing to sync. Under the Xero active integration, you have the main navigation that you can use to navigate all throughout the system. First, we have dashboard, purchase menu, sales menu, production menu, inventory menu, CRM, financials, reports, integration, and settings. In your dashboard, you can manage the information by clicking the Manage Dashboard button and selecting the relevant information that you want to display, as well as interacting with the dashboard by actually dragging and dropping that information right from the screen, the way that you want it. To get started with inventory system, you need to start putting in your products and services. To do that, you can navigate to Inventory, create or add a new product and service. But before that, let me quickly discuss the available information under the Inventory menu. Under the Inventory menu, we can create or add a new product and service, product family. Product family is a variant of a product. For example, if you are selling a t-shirt with a different color and a different sizes, we can also create a stock adjustment. Stock adjustment is where you can correct your cost of a product or a quantity of a specific product. We can also create a stock take or stock count. Stock take and stock count are performed monthly, quarterly, or on a yearly basis. We can also create a transfer to transfer a stock from one location to another. And we can also write off a product. Under the inventory menu, we can navigate to the product list, the product families, the availability all across the location, the list of the stock take, the list of the adjustments, the list of transfer, and we can also print the product price list, the list of the inventory write-off, gift cards, and MRP. Going back on adding a product into the system, there are many ways to add a product into the system. So you can add the product manually by navigating to inventory and select the product and services. You can also choose to import your inventory list using the Import Inventory option in Import Inventory field. You can also sync your products from your third-party integrated application. For example, from your accounting software, which is in this case the Xero accounting software, or if you have any sales channel, let's say for example if you have Shopify, so we can sync your product information from Shopify into there. When creating a product manually in the system, you have to input the information that are relevant to you. On the left tab, you can select from a different tab to update or edit a specific information. Did you know that they allow users to create up to 10 price tiers that can be used across the sales channel. For example, if you have the business-to-business portal, you can assign a particular price tier that can be used on that platform. You can also assign a price tier to your point of sale. You can also assign a specific price tier to your e-commerce. You can also assign a price tier when selling manually in the system. Not only that, but you can add a custom price to a particular customer. You can also set a default supplier, and you can also set a specific reorder level. For example, to add additional information to a particular location to set a minimum reorder quantity so that the system will advise or notify you if the quantity is running low for this specific product. You can also set an alternative product if you run out of stock for this product. You can also add an additional description and additional units of measure. Going back to the general details of the product, you can also add an additional attribute set. So if you want to add an additional information that is not in this field, you can always add an additional information for this product. You can also navigate to your product page by navigating to inventory and select products. You can choose to import your inventory list from the inventory list section and download the CSV template. You can also have a look on the field specification section to get an idea what these fields in the import list means. Simple purchase order is very straightforward. On your order, you can only have one invoice, one stock receiving, and one credit note. You will not be able to authorize a partial receive from your supplier unless you convert simple purchase into advance. In advanced purchase order, it allows user to split a specific order into multiple invoices and stock receiving. And you can issue or assign a multiple credit note into a specific invoice under the same order. We can also create a new service order. I'll give you an example. These are the courier charges, handling charges, custom charges, or any landed cost that is being billed separately. Purchase credit note. We can also create a purchase credit note. This purchase credit note is a standalone credit note that is not related to any purchases. We can also create a supplier or add a supplier into our system. We can also process a bulk payment, which is in Xero, this is batch payment, but in here, bulk payment. We can also see a list of reorder products. We can also see a list of reorder, back ordered. In this list, you will see a list of products that is being sold manually without quantity on hand. Under purchase menu, we can see the full list of our purchases, list of our suppliers, and supplier deposits. Okay, let's have a look on the pre-created simple and advanced purchase. When creating a purchase order, regardless if it is created as simple or advanced, you have to select a supplier. Once a supplier is selected, the information will auto-populate in the supplier header details. Depends on the availability of the information. Under the supplier header is the purchase order stages. On the first stage is the order tab. This is where you add all your products, specify a quantity and the supplier price. Once completed adding all your products into your order, you can email this order directly to your supplier, or you can print the order for your reference. The next stage is the invoicing. In this tab, this is where you input your supplier invoices. The next stage is the stock receiving. This is where you input or verify the quantity you receive from your supplier and also you will be able to select a location where you want to store these products. You can enter the credit note if your supplier issue a credit note for this purchase order, and you must authorize the unstock to completely remove those items from your location. You can also create a manual journal if you want to create an adjustment. You can also attach a document from your supplier or any document for reference, and you will be able to see the history of this purchase order, who created and who authorized the stages of the purchase order. In advance purchase order, the appearance is different. The purchase order stages is displayed beside the supplier header details. Although they have the same supplier, the same products, and the same ordered quantities. But in advanced purchase order, you have the flexibility to split the order into multiple invoices, multiple stock receiving, and you can also assign a multiple credit note into a specific invoice under the same purchase order. The payments is also displayed under the invoicing and receiving stage. The same with the simple purchase order, you can also view the history, who created and authorized the stages of this purchase order. You can also check the transaction that's being created under this purchase order. You can also assign an attributes if you have set the attributes on the purchase and the product level. Going back to the list of purchases, you can click the gear icon to display additional information into your screen. You can also drag and drop the header columns to arrange the information the way that you want it. You can also select a purchase order to do a bulk action. You can undo this order. You can print, email, export, merge, or void this transaction. You can also filter accordingly via status of the purchase order. You can also navigate to the subheader and filter the relevant information. If you want to find a sale or create a new sale, you can navigate to Sale menu. Under the Sale menu, we can create simple, advanced, and a service sale. We can also create a standalone credit note, create or add a new customer, apply a bulk payment, or create a new return merchandise authorization. Under the Sales menu, we can navigate the list of sales, the list of customers and credits, the list of recurring sales, the list of warranties, the list of RMAs, and the list of return orders. Let's have a look on the pre-created simple and advanced sale. When creating a sale, you have to select a customer. Once a customer is selected, the information will auto-populate in the customer header details. You can also override the information to update the sales order details. Under the customer header details is the sales order stages. The first stage is quotation or the quote. Next is the order, invoice, the fulfillment stage, which is the pick, pack, and shipping, the credit note, restock, manual journals, related orders, attachment, and logs and attributes. A quote stage can be skipped if you wish to proceed to process the order directly. You can take the skip quote under the customer header details. Once the quotation is confirmed by your customer, you can proceed to authorize the order and issue the invoice. Once the customer settles the payment, depending on the agreement or the payment terms, you can proceed to process the picking. In the picking tab, you have the option to select a specific batch or serial number. Depends on the setup of the product. You can choose where it should be picked or collected. So in this case, our location to fulfill this order is the main warehouse. Once you authorize the pick, you are ready to pack. After packing, you have to input the relevant information, how many packages it was in. After authorizing the package tab or the fulfillment packing stage, you can proceed to ship the item to your customer. You have to fill in the relevant information as well. You can choose between your courier, add the tracking number, and how many packages you sent to your customer. You can also issue a credit note once a customer return your item. You can also restock to put it back into your system. You can also add an adjustment by creating a manual journal. You can also see if there is any related orders. You can also attach any document for your reference. You will be able to see the logs and attributes, whoever created the sale manually and authorized the stages. In advanced sale, the sales order stages is displayed next to or beside the customer header details. If you did not notice, simple sale and simple purchase, the same as the advanced sale and advanced purchase, they have similarities on the appearance, although they have different purpose and functionality. Going back to the advanced sale, we have the ability to split the order into multiple invoices and multiple fulfillments. We can also create a multiple credit note to be assigned or applied in the invoices under the same order. The payment is also displayed next to the invoices. The same with the simple purchase order, we can attach any documents that can be used as reference. We can also view the activity log, whoever created or authorized the stages. We can also view the workflow activity log. We can also add a manual journal if you wish to create an adjustment to your account. We can also see the transaction created under this sales order. We can also add an additional attributes, and we can check the related order under this advanced order. Please note that when authorizing a sales order, the system will automatically allocate the stock for this specific order, meaning it will lock or reserve the total quantity of this order so that it will not be available for another sale unless you undo or void the sales order. The allocation will be confirmed on the picking fulfillment. Under the picking, you have to choose where you pick up or fulfill this order. In this case, we have selected the main warehouse for the fulfillment of invoice number 61, and the second fulfillment is being fulfilled in the city showroom under the invoice number 62. Once you authorize the shipping or the ship tab, that's the time your stocks exit your inventory, and that is the time the cost of goods sold will be created and will be available for synchronization to your accounting software. Also take note, upon authorizing any stages in the purchase or sales order, will put that stage into lock state, meaning you will not be able to change or update any information after you authorize a stage unless you undo that stage and reprocess or re-enter the information, most especially when authorizing an invoice. Once you authorize an invoice, this will trigger sync, meaning this information will be ready for synchronization from there to Xero. The same with the payment. Once you apply the payment, it will be available and ready for synchronization from there to Xero. Before we started, we have nothing to sync from there to Xero. But since we created the purchase and sales order, this transaction must be captured in Xero Sync Summary. So this information are required to be synced to your accounting software. It can automatically done with a minimum of 2 hours syncing frequency. It can also be done manually by clicking the Sync Now button. Once the sync is completed, a link will be created in the Purchase and Sales Invoice tab, which connect the two systems with regard to this information. Going back to the sales list, you can find your sales list by navigating the sales menu and select Sales. You can click the gear icon and select a header to display a data in the screen. You can also drag and drop the header columns to rearrange the information the way that you want it. You can also select a sale to create a bulk action such as undo, fill an authorize order, authorize pick, pack, ship, invoice, or full sale completion. You can also do bulk print, email, export, or void this transaction. You can also select from the header and create or select a filter to display the relevant information. Now let's have a look on the sales invoice or purchase invoice that we have synced completely from Dear to Xero. Once you completely sync a sales invoice or a purchase invoice, a link or a button will be created from Dear. Once you click this button, you will be redirected to your Xero organization. The same with Xero, a link is also created so you can go back and check your transaction from Dear. And that is for sales. How about the purchase? The same with purchase. You can go and click the invoice and you will see the button is also created, and once you click that button, you will be redirected as well to your purchase bills in your Xero organization. And it also have the link so you can trace and check the transaction from their inventory. Now let's move forward to the production. Under the production menu, we can create a new assembly, new disassembly, new job costing, new inventory write-off, and new production order. Under production menu, we can navigate as well the list of assemblies, the list of disassemblies, list of job costing, list of inventory write-off, the list of production order, the capacity planner, the scheduler, and the production settings. In the assembly, this is where you assemble your raw materials or the bill of materials to create finished product. I'll give you an example of a product that requires assembly or production. For example, if you are selling an ice cream. So before you come up with a finished product, you have the bill of material. For example, a tissue, a cone, and an ice cream, or if you have an special add-on to your ice cream. When processing a stock transfer, you can navigate to inventory menu and select transfer. And this is how you process stock transfer in Dear. When creating a stock transfer, you have to input the relevant information in the header and enter the products accordingly. Once done processing the product, you have to authorize the tab and proceed with next stage, which is sending the product and for the transfer to be completed. When processing a stock adjustment, you can navigate to inventory menu and select stock adjustment. And this is how to process a stock adjustment in the system. You select an effective date, select a specific expense account. You can also add a reference. If you want to adjust only the quantity, you can go to non-zero stock tab. If you wish to add a quantity on a specific product, then you can select in the zero stock tab. Once you entered the relevant information, you can proceed and authorize the stock adjustment and it will be completed. Once completed, the new adjustment will reflect accordingly into your system. Next, we have the CRM or the Customer Relationship Management. Under the CRM menu, we can create a new lead, new opportunities. We can also search the list of leads, the list of opportunities, and the tasks that we can assign to the other user of the organization. We also have the financial menu. Under financial menu, we can create or add new receive money, new spend money, and also search the list of money tasks. But since we have the accounting software that is integrated in our Dear inventory, which is the Xero accounting software, so the financial will be managed to your accounting software. Now let's go to the reports module. From here you can find a numbers of reports that will work for you. These reports is highly customizable the way you want it. Now let's head out to the integration page. Here you can make a selection from the pre-built integration in the system. You can also connect other applications such as the B2B portal, or if you have an e-commerce, you can also connect any shipping or fulfillment services. You can also add the point of sale and a warehouse management software. You can also contact us to assist you on the integration and implementation of the pre-built software. And finally, the settings menu. General settings allows you to customize the system to operate in a way that will work for your business. Under general settings, you can update your security settings, the financial settings. You can also rename the 10 price tier. You can also update or add a reference to your document numbers. And the reference books is the operational information that is used in the software. Under the reference books, you can update the company details, the financial, the default field values, and other items, stocks, RMA, and CRM. Under financial, you can load your chart of accounts from Xero and sync it to Deer. You can also map the accounts. You can also set up an opening balances. You can also map the proper tax rules from Deer to Xero and vice versa. You can also add a payment terms and expense items. You can also add or set a default field values when creating a product, customer, and supplier. You can also create or add a new courier, shipping zone, additional attributes, and the mailing list. Under Stock tab, you'll be able to add a product categories, brands, location. You can also specify the order routing or create a new unit of measure, set a product discount, and product deals. Users and rules allows you to invite users and customize their permission levels to only access the system in a way that you prefer. Next is the document and email templates. These documents are highly customizable and they use Microsoft Mail Merge fields. You can choose a document that you want to edit, open that tab and download the template in Microsoft Word. You can also check the available Mail Merge in the Mail Merge section.